Greetings, traveler, and welcome back to the Lapis Kingdom. I am the Blue Regent, and today we are going to be doing a little bit more building. Last week we built the house that you can see behind me, and today we're going to be working on building some nice-looking farms, some nice-looking starter farms that we're ultimately going to use as a facade for more efficient survival farms in the survival series. So if you're ready, grab your work boots, grab your tools, and let's begin. Okay, so this is where we're going to have a little bit of a crossover between the survival elements of this series and the building elements of this series. The um, the main thing that we're going to be working on today is just building nice looking uh, farms. Essentially, we're going to build a little cattle pasture for our cows. We're going to build a small pigsty for pigs. And we're going to also work on a nice looking wheat field, carrot field, and potato field. Mainly because I want to start getting slightly more efficient farms set up, but I also want them to be able to hide the even more efficient farms that people often use in survival series or in survival like games. These are things that I kind of tend to stay away from when I play on my own, mostly because, again, I do more of the building side of things. But if we're going to be building a large city. Is that a... Hold on. We have to pause for a second. I think that's a village in the distance. I didn't realize until the other day, until the other day, that my graphic settings were weird, and so I messed with them a little bit, and now think I've seen that's a village in the background. Well, we might have to go explore that later. But so today I'm gonna make a chicken coop. We're gonna build a cow pasture, and we're going to build a sheep pasture, a pig sty, and some farms. And these are going to be a little more on the aesthetic side of things. The goal here isn't for them to be as completely efficient as they possibly can be. Although the chicken farm, it's kind of hard to, or the chicken coop is going to be a little bit tricky to separate survival and just regular building. And so that one's, we're just going to make do with it. So the first thing I want to do is I think out here, way out here, is where I want to set up my cow pasture and my pigsty and my sheep pasture. And the main reason behind that is I think I want the idea of people just don't want those things close to their house. We're going to build just a nice little shelter for them to hang out in. Clear out the grass, get some seeds, which will be handy for when we decide we want to get this wheat farm going. That there, I'll put this here. Okay. So this is just going to be like a little shelter for the cows to hang out under. But I can do that. There. So this is going to be the shelter for the cows to hang out in. Got to rearrange my hotbar a little bit. Rely on the old dirt scaffolding. Let's see. Hopefully this all ends up measuring out. But the nice thing is, because we're working in with wood, it's pretty easy to fix if you need to adjust everything. Oh yeah. So eventually what's going to happen underneath here, once I get this cattle pasture set up, it's going to have a, I believe the term for it is a smash farm, and so that's going to be where I'm actually getting my cow related resources from. Okay, so this is what I was worried about. So this needs to be pushed out one more block because I want everything to line up a little bit. Cows don't really need it, but I think it looks nice. It adds a little character. It's nothing too complicated. But it just kind of, you know, makes it look like they've got a nice little home in here. Yeah, put that in. There we go. Okay, so there's our basic shelter. We have a lantern in here for some light just to make sure that mobs don't spawn in here. And so now I'm just going to kind of roughly outline this, and I always want to try to make sure that I'm not accidentally setting up a way for them to be able to escape. Just like the player, most mobs can only jump one square, but sometimes in situations like this, you can allow them to, which, like on this side, something might be able to walk from the grass onto the fence and then in, which is fine, but I don't want it to be able to do the other way. So I want to make sure that it can't walk from this block onto the fence and get out, which it doesn't seem like it can. So I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm just trying to do like a little rough shape here. I don't want it to look too square because it would just be boring if it looked like one big square. So we're just gonna kind of work our way out here, following the terrain a little bit. And then, yeah, we'll just keep heading out this way a little bit farther. And maybe we can cut back in here. I'm going to slap another one up there. And again, I want to make sure that nobody's going to try to escape from there. And let's see. I think I do want to come up here. And I don't want to destroy all of this grass. Obviously, there's not going to be a lot of long grass in here because of the fact that they're going to be grazing on it. But I want to leave a little bit of it in here just for some character, and it'll just look a little bit nicer. It makes the environment feel a little bit more alive, in my opinion. So we'll keep working this way, and then we're going to put 2 fence gates in there. So 2. And this will just kind of help with getting them in. Pig, did you just decide that this is the pigsty? So so this was going to be the cow pasture, but I think this pig just decided that this is the this is where pigs live, which is fine. I'm fine with that. So let's declare that this is where pigs go. So if this is where pigs go, I'm gonna get rid of all this grass, and we're gonna talk about how I'm gonna decorate this a little bit. So give me 1 second. Okay, so since this pig decided that this is going to be where our pigsty is, we're going to do a little kind of playing with the terrain a little bit, and I kind of want this to look gross. I don't know if you've ever been near a pig farm before, but they smell bad, especially large pig farms, and it's just because pigs kind of live, at least in a farmed area. From what I can tell, it seems like they just live in kind of gross conditions. And so we're gonna kind of break this up. I'm putting in coarse dirt kind of randomly around, and I want that to kind of look like, you know, the grass has been torn up a little bit. And the way that you make coarse dirt, if you don't know, is with gravel and regular dirt. And unlike regular dirt, this will stay looking like this. It'll never grow grass on it. So it's really good for like using roads or if you just kind of want it to look like bare dirt. So we're basically kind of just increasing the amount of the color brown through here to make this look just like they've kind of been rooting around, tearing up the grass, and just kind of doing some damage to everything. I also have 2 compost bins. Those are, the point of those is to look like slop troughs. I'm going to fill those up. You can the point of those normally is you can fill them with different kinds of plant matter. I think I want the lower this sits, the more torn up it looks. You fill them with like plant matter, so like seeds, saplings, wheat. You can put all sorts of stuff in there, and it'll make it look, or it'll eventually fill it up and turn it into bone meal. Is normally the function for it. But when you put matter in it, there, like that, yeah. When you put stuff in it, it fills up and it looks kind of gross in here. So once I start filling that up, I'll show you what I'm talking about, and that'll kind of help it look like they're being fed kind of like the scraps of the town. So now I'm gonna just kind of go around, use the right click function of the shovel to again kind of tear this up a little bit, and then we're gonna go through with the hoe and do kind of the same thing. So but you know what, that actually won't work because stuff needs to be, I know how I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm going to put this here, throw that in there. This is kind of what I was thinking about doing anyways. So I waterlogged the half slab, and now in a 4 block radius, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I can till the dirt. It'll stay tilled, and it'll kind of help just everything look a little more roughed up. Okay, so I've done kind of tearing up the ground a little bit. So I've kind of got like these wet spots, kind of like they've been rooting around, and now it's filled up with water. I don't know if I really like this one here, but it does let this area look pretty nasty. So everything just looks a little bit more torn up and like they've been tearing the ground up. Now this higher spot does look a little bit nicer, and I think I just want it to be kind of like as we get lower, it just gets a little grosser. Now over time, there are other blocks that you can use like podzol and stuff, which we haven't found yet. But as we find those, we'll mix those in too and just make this look a little bit more pigsty-ish. Okay, so now we're on the other side of this part of the village here. There's an Enderman just wandering around picking up blocks over there. Hopefully nothing I wanted. So we're over here, and there was this pond that I kind of opened up a little bit around, and I like the idea of this being in the cow pasture simply because then I don't have to use any iron or anything yet as far as making like water troughs for them. So I'm gonna put, I think up here maybe is where I'm gonna, oh, there's a cave right here. That's fine. I'm gonna put up here the shelter for them, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different. This is a thing that I don't normally do when I build, but I know that it kind of makes stuff look a little bit nicer. And I think, I did a lot of weird stuff with my hotbar here. I think it does add a little bit of realism to, let's see if this is 1, 2, 3. I'll put this here. I think it just makes everything look a little bit more realistic, and that's diagonal buildings. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. How do I want to? And by diagonal buildings, this is not a way that I ever build ever. So if you're watching this right now and thinking, wow, this is kind of a funky looking diagonal building, this is literally the first diagonal building I've ever built ever. And so my goal with this one is to kind of like feel out this building style, and those might be too close, but that's okay. Feel out this building style, and see if I can figure it out, and also to just kind of get used to it, because eventually I am going to want to add character to our towns. I am going to want to have not all of our houses and our buildings and everything be square. It just makes everything in the long run look nicer. Up close, they can kind of look a little strange. I'm too low now. But from far away, or when you're looking at the whole town as a, it looks nicer. It looks more real, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so this is kind of funky. It's a little funky, but I think I like it. I might mess around with it a little bit more. I'm gonna give them like a weird little path down, so they're kind of sitting in this high spot. There's this pond right here. So now I'm gonna run around, throw in some fences, and then we'll talk about moving on from here. Okay, so now I've got the fences up, and again, it's kind of like a weird, funky shape, working with the terrain here. Again, for some reason, I trapped a pig. I keep catching pigs. I'm not sure how that keeps happening, but I've got like this space up here for like where they're gonna hang out. So I'm gonna throw a lantern down here again to prevent. That's a little low. I'm gonna throw it there. So again, now making it harder for mobs to spawn in there. Have this little like ramp up. Use some trapdoors again to kind of just make it look like in a couple places it's built up a little bit. You can't stay here forever. We'll figure out what we're gonna do with you. But yeah, so there's still a little bit of grass. Obviously the cows are gonna graze and eat a lot of it. But they're also cows, and cow manure is a fertilizer, and so the grass is gonna grow in here too. So yeah, this is where our cow pasture is gonna be, at least for now. And we will eventually get some cows in here. But a thing that I want to try building real quick, and I have no idea what this is called. If you know anything about farming, let's see here. How big do I want this to be? Say that big. If you know anything about farming, and you know what this is called, I need a couple more slabs. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. Throw this down here. If you know anything about farming and know what this is called, and you may not, I know I'm not done yet. But I've seen these in cow pastures before, or in I think maybe sometimes in horse pastures too. But it looks like it's just something that kind of keeps what they're eating off of the ground, and keeps it from getting like dirty and moldy, I guess. But obviously they're gonna graze on the grass, but this kind of helps feed them as well. I have no idea what it's called, and this may be, I think it gets a roof too. Zombies are determined to get to me. If that's the case, no. if these only go in horse pastures, that's fine. You know, we're not going for full-blown realism here. I just kind of want it to look a little bit different than the pigsty. So we'll put a roof here, because obviously if the point of this is to keep their food from getting soggy, you want it protected from the rain too. So we'll just put a simple roof on it. Okay. Is it weird? Yes. Does it look kind of cool though? Maybe. I like it. It's strange. It's super weird. But I'm into it, I think. This creeper. These people down here, they're giving me a hard time. They're not giving me a hard time. What do you think about it, Pig? Do you like this? Do you like it? Okay. I'm gonna take that as a yes. So there we go. So here's our cow pasture. Nothing super wild, super crazy, but I like it. Okay, so this next farm that we're gonna build, this is kind of tough to build the aesthetic part of it without building the like survival automated element to it, and that's the chicken farm. I did not come up with this plan. I originally saw this on a mythical sausage video, and I believe Germsy originally made it, and I can link the video that I saw mythical sausage use it. I'm 100% sure. If that's not who it is, there will be a correction for that. But essentially what this is going to be is this is a... do I remember how to make a hopper? I don't. Essentially what this is going to be is a... Oh, because I need more chests. That's what I'm missing. I'm going to need a lot of chests. But this is a chicken farm. It's going to look like a chicken coop, but it's also an egg farm. And if you've never seen this design before, this design was game-changing for me. Do this. I want a chest right here. And I'm going to have a hopper going into the chest. And then I want a hopper over that hopper, over going into this one, 3 more going into here. Okay, so that is the base of this. Okay, so now we're gonna build some legs, just like this. So this is the body of the chicken coop, and I don't have all of the items. Well, I might. You can use rails to make this look a little more like they've got like a step up into it, but we don't need them. So let me set up the fenced in area and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a 2-high oak fence around this, and that's because I don't know about you, but my chickens always jump on each other and then jump out of my enclosures. So I have a high security chicken prison going on here. So as you can see, there's 4 hoppers in here. Any eggs that they lay are going to end up in here. So I'm gonna build my roof. Just like that. I think I want to do that opposite, actually. And one way you can always test your hopper system is you can throw something into the hopper. I can come back here. Where did I bury my treasure chest? Come over here. And there is some dirt that's fallen in there. There's some spruce planks that have fallen in there earlier as well. So let's see. I think I want... Oops. think I want it to be like this, actually. And then eventually I'm going to throw a roof on here, but I need chickens in here first. And just like with the pigsty, I kind of want to simulate them kind of scratching around and everything. I don't need it to be as torn up as the pigsty was, but I do want it to look a little bit like they've been just kind of running around scratching the ground in here. Yeah, so there we go. So this will get a roof on it, and eventually there will be chickens in here as well. And then you know, over time there are some pretty cool ways that you can decorate a chicken coop to make the inside look a little more like a chicken coop. So we got our pigsty set up, we have our cow pasture set up, and we have this awesome chicken coop / egg farm set up. That is going to be it for today. If you want to see how to use all of these in more of a survival setting, check out the survival episode that's going to be coming up on the survival portion of this channel. And I look forward to seeing you next time in the Lapis Kingdom. Have a great day.